Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. For the next 2 months starting today, you're going to be able to get yourself epic skins inside World of Tanks, or alternatively a choice of 2 tier 5 premium tanks completely for free by watching my stream. One of them is the T14 Heavy. Let's check out some epic gameplay in it to see if it's worth picking up. So our hero of the day is GoPorto from the European server playing in their T14. So what is there to say about the T14? Tier 5 American Heavy, pretty much as old as the game is, and it has preferential matchmaking, which means that you never have to meet tier 7s, which is a good thing too, because this tank doesn't have very good penetration. 92mm on its standard rounds, goes up to 127 on its gold rounds, which is why you're probably going to see GoPorto fire a lot of gold ammunition inside this game. But again, when you're only able to play against tier 6s, the penetration isn't that bad, and if you're a reasonably good player, or even if you're not, then it's still enough in quite a few scenarios. And because it's a premium tank, it doesn't really matter if you have to fire a few premium shells to be able to get the job done. So one of the best things undoubtedly about this tank is its 10 degrees of gun depression. And so when you get on a map like Wide Park and you go into a powerful position like GoPorto is, you have more than enough to be able to work a ridge line. And when you add to this the fact that the vehicle's got like 101mm of turret armor, then this thing is just an absolute daddy on a ridge line. GoPorto is going to demonstrate some excellent accuracy here in this lovely matchmaking to be able to shred one of the preferred seal clubbers in the game of the M8A1. Now their team's going to finish off the T28 EF30, which again an amazing seal clubber in World of Tanks. And then GoPorto is going to turn their attention to another tier 5 American heavy tank, just like their T14. It is the T1 Heavy. Excuse me, sorry. But unfortunately for the T1 Heavy, they are not in a hold down scenario. The T1 Heavy isn't even that bad of a tank now that Wargaming have buffed up that turret armor, although it doesn't look like the T1 Heavy on the enemy team is even really considering their turret armor right now, as they are caught in the side and getting farmed by this vehicle. And that is because the T14 actually has very good damage per minute, 1,732. And so if you get yourself a gun rammer on this vehicle, get yourself vents, or would you really want a turbo on this tank? It is limited to 34, so a turbo is kind of optional, but definitely would be a nice thing to have. A lot of people would actually like to use a durability device on this vehicle, because as you can see, the tracks are quite large and they stick out quite a lot. Plus, it's got good hit points. At 900 base hit points. So if you do use a durability device on this vehicle, then not only can you keep your tank moving, but you can keep yourself alive for just that little bit longer. And with, I think, a bounty or a bond durability device, not that I would ever recommend putting bond equipment on tier 5 heavies, you could actually get up towards the 1,000 hit points mark, which would make this thing a rather meaty tank for a tier 5. Okay, so GoPorto has already picked up 2 kills in this game, but unfortunately for him, his team is already down by nearly double the hit points and also down by 3 tanks. But oh dear, the T1 Heavy that GoPorto forgot about now said, hey Burrow, you're not just going to let me sit here, right? And puts a couple of rounds, the first ones that GoPorto has taken this game, into the side of their tank. Now GoPorto is going to focus on the Hetzer, going to auto-aim in this situation, decide that they want to get out of this tricky scenario where they're getting flanked. But unfortunately, another preferred seal clubber, the T67. When I'm thinking about this, does anyone not play seal clubbing tanks at low tier? Like, where are all like the regular vehicles? It's kind of all Matildas, you know? 3 Matildas on the enemy team alone at tier 4. Outrageous stuff. Gosh, I'm glad I don't play low tier that much anymore. But after my recent video in the BTSV, well, I think my WN8 likes it when I actually do play the low tiers. Alright, so GoPorto showing good knowledge of the mid-play weakness of the KV-1. And now they've got themselves out of a scenario where they were surrounded to being in a position where they are now hull down against their opponents. And oh, this is starting to look rather delicious. Look at that, using the wreck of the T28 that they created earlier. Now who's seal clubbing who, right? The Matilda's Amarax, so their great damage per minute has now been reduced to a poor amount. And finishing off that 14 TP, now GoPorto picks up the Top Gun medal, quickly secures it into a situation where they've killed nearly half of the enemy team single-handedly here. And just look at this scenario, you know, 7 kills for GoPorto and 3 for the rest of his team combined. The Stug finishes off, but was finished off by the T67, which Go Porto quickly shuts down afterwards, and they are now in a contention for the one that everybody wants, the Kolobanov's medal, for standing alone against at least 5 opponents. And Go Porto is not going easy on the enemy team, picking up their 9th kill of the game. If they can get this shot in, there you go, that's 10 kills now, killing 2/3 of the enemy team and picking up, I believe, a Pools medal, as it does count, I believe, at tier 4 and above opponents. You can't get Pools medals, I believe, for destroying tier 3 and below opponents. Although I think you can get Kolobanov's medals for low tier, as that medal doesn't really require shooting of a certain tier. Unfortunately, as you can see, while the T14 is an absolute brute, it doesn't have that much camo rating. Luckily, the Churchill went too close to the bushes, so they managed to get spotted. Go Porto just sitting here, and now it's a battle of the tier 5 premium heavies, right? The Churchill, the one that gets those insane experience results, and the T14, well, they're definitely more dependable on a ridgeline, that's for sure, as it has pretty much double the gun depression that the Churchill has. So the real mystery of this game is, where is the Matilda going to be? Because that's not something that you want to get caught in the side. Even though Go Porto right now is very healthy with 373 hit points remaining. It really shows you the Churchill is also a very healthy tank at 920 hit points base for starting off on the battle. And there we go, Go Porto once again, they're just going to shred the Churchill in the turret. Uh-oh, well, I probably spoke a little bit too soon. Come on, Go Porto, there you go, calm down. And this tank has so much better alpha damage than the Churchill at 110. It's literally hitting 50% harder per shot, which can mean that you can trade pretty well. This thing is just an absolute beast at tier 5. It's not so much of a beast if you do get yourself into tier 6 games, but in these kind of scenarios where we're against tier 4s and tier 5s, yeah, it's one of the easiest to play, but also most powerful seal clubbers in the hands of an experienced player. But even not, if you're not an experienced player, this thing is also just a beast of the battlefield. What happened there with that Panzer 3J behind them? I don't know how they managed that. That's a challenge. That's such a tiny turret. Yeah, they've landed on it perfectly. Style points, 10 out of 10 there. For the Panzer 3J. It's almost kind of like Panzer of the Deep if it was in the lake. If it landed in the lake, you know, like, oh, Panzer of the Lake, should I get the T14 with all of my tokens that I'm going to be getting from watching twitch.tv/QuickyBaby over the next couple of months. So the event is going to run for the whole of July and the whole of August, and I think the first week of September as well. You're going to be able to get yourself nearly enough tokens to be able to not just get the T14, but also to be able to get the Panzer 3K as well. So if you've already got this tank and you'd rather get the Panzer 3K, that's an option. Or if low-tier premium tanks aren't your thing, but you want a really cool style, either for the Basonte or the Batchat, those are available as well. And if you've got all of that anyway, then you can get yourself 5 times experience games, get yourself some premium time, get yourself some premium consumables, just for either watching the stream in the background while you're playing, or alternatively, hopefully coming and engaging, saying hi in chat. Anyway, Go Porto has more than enough time to look around here, and it's what you probably would want to do in this situation. Capping would mean that the Matilda would know where they are and possibly could get themselves in one of the windows and make Go Porto look a little bit silly here. So I think in this situation, it's best, as the Stug says, to relax, try and find the Matilda, see where they're going to be, hope that they're going to be able to catch them out. If they're able to catch them out, well, that's going to be 12 kills, hopefully, if they win the engagement. And if they don't, well, as long as they get into the cap circle with a little bit of time left, they should be okay. So it looks like this Matilda, are they AFK in this situation? No, they're not. They're actually waiting to create an ambush for the T14, immediately turn around and start shooting where they are. Hit one shell, bounce another shell, and there you go. Go Porto tracking. Oh, come on. Finish it off. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Stops, chills, and yeah, look at this result. 3,700 damage, 855 spotting, and literally killing 12 out of 15 of the enemy team. Now, I'm not saying that every game in the T14 goes like this, but yeah, inside a nice matchup with a little bit of luck and a lot of skill, like Go Porto showed here, and a little bit of gold ammunition, it's easy to see why the T14 has been one of my mate Ike's favorite tanks for years. So much so that when we first went to Tank Fest in like 2012, I think Ike wanted to find the T14 and give it a hug. And he actually managed to, because I think there was one in the Vehicle Conservation Center, unless I'm going mad. So Go Porto slams a Pools medal for those 12 kills, a Colobanos medal for standing alone against at least 5 and winning the battle, and a high caliber for the casual 3,700 damage, pretty much about 4 or 5 times what anyone else on their team was able to achieve. Although they fired 156,000 credits of ammunition with a lot of unnecessary gold rounds fired. So Go Porto, if there's something I'd recommend to you, well, like, you probably don't care because look at all these awesome medals and maybe even an experience account record. Why not take intuition on your loader, and then you can easily switch out within a second to the right ammunition for the job, and then you'll be making yourself like 100,000 credits rather than losing it. So just to talk about the fresh drops to be able to get the tokens, to be able to access the token store once again, the event starts today, runs until September, and you're going to be able to get yourself 15 tokens per week by watching my streams, 3 additional per week by actually doing the missions. And if you have a World of Tanks premium account, you can get yourself an additional 3 tokens per week, meaning that everyone with or without a premium account, just for watching my stream, will be able to guarantee themselves to get a T14 for free over the next couple of months. Or alternatively, the Panzer 3K, or as I showed, you can get one of the coolest looking styles in the game, in my opinion, for your Basante if you've already got the premium tanks, or if you missed out on the awesome Bat Chat style from the Christmas loot crates years ago, you can choose that. And so Go Porto, congratulations to you on this amazing game in your T14, and thanks for showing to the community why they should consider picking it this month. And thank you very much for uploading your replay on the What Replays website. And I'd also like to give a big thank you to Wargaming for their generosity to the community through content creators like myself. It's awesome that I get to give away literally thousands and thousands, if not tens of thousands of premium tanks through my stream every month or every other month. And so a huge thank you from me, Wargaming, on behalf of my Twitch community. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was it for today. Really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And if you want to start collecting your tokens to be able to get one of these epic rewards or multiple epic rewards over the next couple of months, then I'm live right now on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby. And if it's your first time there and you want to make sure that you get the drops, please do use the command in chat or ask for some help to be able to get it all working. Anyway, really looking forward to seeing you all live. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.